What's going on, guys? I am Cal, and I'm hanging out with my buddy Rob on Front Row Live. Turn it up.
Before we really dive into this new single, I really want to congratulate you on your new signing to Photo Finish. Photo Finish has been one of those labels that I grew up in the pop punk scene, and with the Warped Tour days and all that stuff, I used to work with them a lot with the bands that they had, like Hit the Lights and 303, which are currently like doing some crazy stuff. So it's awesome to see that you are now
I
part
love
of the
those
family.
guys. Oh, and honestly, that last word you said, I know people are like, yeah, I love working with my family, doing whatever. This squad is family. We go so far back, and when it came time to decide where I wanted to release my stuff and who to have help me, I mean, this is like, I feel like I would trust these people, no matter the situation. And that's who you want to ride with. You don't want to be in a situation where it's like, well, I'm probably going to get screwed over, but we'll see what happens, which I feel like is a lot of people I know. So I'm thrilled and excited, and their excitement kind of just, that's what you need. When you get into a room, you need people who share in your excitement, and they're there.
Right. And I feel like it's the type of label that is very, as you kind of mentioned, is very involved with their artists. I mean, these 15 years that they've been around, like they've been a big part of the artist development process, as well as like the releases and everything going on, obviously. But like I feel like every artist that I've talked to has had like the best experiences with Photo Finish.
I can't say enough good things. I love Matt Galley like a brother. I don't, it's crazy that it's out, it's out, and it's my first release with them. And
Yeah.
they're like, before, and I've been through the label experience before, but before I can even stress about something or have a thought like, oh, it should be like this, they're already calling me like, yo, shouldn't it be like this? And so we're just aligned, and that's what makes a good team.
So let's talk about the new single debut with Photo Finish. And I love the fact that you collaborated with Quinn XCII. I've been a fan of his
Me too.
work for some time, and I like the first thing that caught my attention with him early on was his wordplay. And you're kind of doing the same thing with your music as well, and I love the vibe between the two of you, and just the way that both your voices kind of mesh. I feel like it's like the perfect marination of vocals. So talk to me about how you and Quinn kind of get started with this, and what was that creative process during the writing process of the song?
I appreciate you saying that, because I feel that way too. And it was, you know the way this song kind of started and was brought about never would have happened in another world or another year. But I just, for people who like aren't so familiar with how songs get written or made, there's a lot of us songwriters out in here in LA who will get together, and um, we'll have what's called sessions, and we'll get in the room and we'll write songs and create. But during, it was like I was starved for the collaborative process. And so I came up with like the hook in the shower, as most people come up with good stuff in the shower. That's what it is. I came out to the studio and immediately started laying it down with the drums, and I was like, "This is dope." And in a session, you would turn and be like, "This is tight, right?" And everyone would be like, "Yeah, let's go," and you'd have that energy and excitement. But it was one of those, like sad score, like, "This is dope, right?" And look around, no one's there, crickets. So I was like, you know what? I need something. I need some interaction. I've never done this before. I'm putting this chorus on my socials. And I put it up and I explained just what I said. I said, look, usually there's a collaborative process, but you're in the room. You're with me. What do you guys think? And the response was crazy. And one of the first texts I got was from Quinn XCII, or DMs or messages, I should say. And it said, yo, whatever that is, save me a verse. And so I'm like, the excitement I just explained to you, where you're in a session and people are like, "Oh yeah, this is dope." It was that times a million. I was like, "Yo, Quinn loves this. I love Quinn's stuff." Megan Trainor's commenting on it. I saw the Chainsmokers comment on it. And first of all, that's what's really fun about things like TikTok, is that anyone can all of a sudden be like, I saw this guitarist who John Mayer was like interacting with, and it's like everyone can interact with everyone. But there was something about this that spoke to people. But when Quinn got back to me like, "You're a fan, I'm a fan, I know all his stuff," and I was just ready to jump out of this place, and so I connected with him, and I was like, "Yo, I've been well, we're not that far away from each other. Come over here." He came over, and we just kind of sat and let, what the kind of building blocks that I had in place. We just let it play and just talked about life and touring and being an artist and all this stuff and what this song could mean. And then it just naturally, I had played in that bass part in the verse, and it was like, why don't we just talk about that feeling of like in the water? It's like it's almost an indescribable thing. Like, I don't know, there's something in the water. It reminds me of like in Space Jam with Mike's special sauce, where they drink the water and they're like, they all think they're superstars. It's like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but it makes me feel great, and that's what we wanted to hit on. And like you said, his wordplay, my wordplay, we go a little bit back and forth like that. So we had so much fun with some of those lines, like the you give me major lift like Hallelujah Melodies, which is obviously a Hallelujah reference, but just there's so much going on in the verse, but we wanted to make sure that feel was there, the initial thing that everyone reacted to. So I don't know, I like don't know how to articulate my excitement. I think you can see it. I'm like I'm buzzing.
But the fact that you both have such incredible wordplay, like how do you guys marinate it together to the point where it's perfectly balanced and it's not too much of him, too much of you, or it's just too much wordplay in general?
I think that's been a blessing and a curse of my whole career, and I'm sure for him too, because you know I came up freestyling a lot. So anytime I hear a beat, like even the first time, I probably looped the bass of that verse for 1,000 hours and was just doing freestyles, and like it's like, oh my god, I can beat this, I can have a better punchline, I can have a better this. And but that's the thing, is you want something to capture the moment and give the listeners the feeling like I'm almost watching it live, or this is a moment that gives me the feeling. Because when you do something too heady, or too much like, oh, did you catch it? It's like it can be a lot. Now in a freestyle that goes, or in like a rap verse, you want to land on that. But
I feel like finding the pocket was something that was like a challenge in itself as well.
100%.
And how important was the music arrangement to the pockets that you both were hitting throughout the song?
Hugely important, especially because we went with these I had at the time programmed in these hip hop drums in the chorus, and with the bass, the doom doom doom, and it's just nonstop space. So you have like doom 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 doom, and so you could fill that with anything, and it was almost daunting. Like, damn, everyone loves this chorus, I better not mess it up with the verse. But I think I Mike started freestyling some melodies, and that one just jumped off. He had one part when I was loop recording that was just and it just sat right in the like on the back of the beat. This doom, there's something warm about the winter when you come around, doom. And that just felt like, man, I'm on a chair somewhere, and I'm not edge of my seat. I'm leaning back, just like enjoying taking it in. And so really focused on the feeling.
You bring in Jorgen to the mix, and like that's another incredible person that you like, as if the song or the team, the collaboration wasn't enough, like you bring this guy in that's just been killing it as well in the music world.
I'm glad you
So
know all these, because like if you're talking about filling a room with the most extraordinary vibes, like this is the cast of characters. Because if for listeners out there who don't know Jorgen from Rose or Holy, Justin Bieber, or tons of Imagine Dragons, but this guy is like, you can't be in his presence and not smile. He just gives that energy. It's infectious. And so I sent him a version of this song that I absolutely loved, and I was like, yo, what do you think of this, as a friend, as a collaborator? And he was like, let me get a touch on that. And then it went from here to where it is now. So I feel so blessed to be able to even send my idea to something, to someone like that.
as far as like the recording process of the track, like what kind of challenges did you personally feel you face? This is, you're doing your solo thing right now, and you're every song that you're releasing is a step up from the last. So like, how did you feel you challenged yourself vocally during the recording process?
I think, I have just the craziest when I get asked in an interview, like, who are your influences? It's the craziest list. It's like I was addicted to 90s hip hop, but then I loved like Yes and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young and these harmonies. And so I feel like in my career at different points, I've been like, oh, the song should sound like this or should sound like this. And this was like hip hop drums, and tons of harmonies. It's like this is just me. So in terms of challenging myself, it was more like, oh my God, I found myself. It's like looking in a mirror when I listen to this because it's like there must be something in the water, and you hear this huge harm stack of water, and it, like 7-part harmonies, which is what of all those classic rock songs. That's what I was drawn to. So I think it was just I wanted. I think I was smiling the whole time I was doing it, honestly. And I did it right here, like in the room you're in. It's like, that's the mic. This is the setup. Just did it right here. And then just never left here. We just crawl out, out of this room at like 5 a.m. and be like, okay, I may as well give my ears a break, and then go in the morning and be like, all right, you know what? This should be different here. Also, one of the toughest things in producing this song was Quinn's ad libs are so good. So for those of you listening who aren't familiar with ad libs, if you have a song and then a lot of times people say, all right, you know what, without writing anything, without coming up with any parts here, just hum some melodies, sing some things. If a part you feel like needs to be emphasized, like sing over that. Everything Mike did was gold. So I was like trying to pick through this stuff. I was like, I'm just gonna make this song an ad-lib track. It's unbelievable. He's so talented.
with
So
the recording process as well, like I feel like, and you kind of mentioned it too, like how you initially shared it with your fans, because the collaborative process usually has people around you with feedback and such. But I feel like the live aspect also helps artists kind of create music, especially during the writing process, just to kind of like get the feel of what you can expect, where you can expect like this song would do best or whatnot. But the fact that the live show wasn't available, and it hasn't been available during the creative process of the song, how do you feel that kind of challenged you in order to complete this song? Because regardless, I feel like the song sounds completely full, as if you did have a live show to kind of base it off of.
Yeah. Uh, I guess when I said the blessing and the curse thing before, I think that goes for everything in life. Everything in moderation. There can be too much of this, too much of that. I think in the past, sometimes I get so influenced when I come off stage, like that song where I did the 1, 2, 3 jump. That's it. I'm making every song at 128 BPM, or this moment where like everyone's saying the words back to me. I need a post chorus that goes la da da or something, where they sing back. So the flip side of that was being locked in here. It was almost just like, I just want something with bounce that's going to give me some positivity, because it's feeling heavy and it's feeling dark out there, and I just want something to like to smile to. And I wasn't thinking about playing it live, because I haven't played live in feels like forever. So it was just about capturing like I want it to hit you in the chest, and those drums in the chorus to just be something that like the word pocket that you said, that's all we were chasing was keeping that pocket, so you're just rocking the whole time, and then when the drums shift in the chorus, you are like, this is a vibe.
Do you feel you're testing the waters a little bit with BPMs and different BPMs compared to what you did in the past with Rob?
Yeah, I've learned, as much as it was bad and it was dark, there were good parts of this specifically for me, in the sense that I just tried to learn everything. I was like, all right, look, if I'm going to be here, I knew how to produce in a sense, but not anywhere near the level I do now. I took courses. There was this thing called LinkedIn Learning, which I think is now Facebook Learning. I think it was bought, but one of the professors from Thornton School of Music, which is at USC, was teaching a course on Ableton. And so I took his course and was like, I want to go back to the basics and learn. So I just feel like I relearned everything, and just watching endless YouTube videos. And there were so many things I picked up. And speaking of BPM, like I remember seeing that Bob Dylan, after he wrote a song, would try it in every single key just to see which one felt the best. Because, while it might just be, a lot of times we test out keys in a session to say, can the vocalist sing that high? No, it's a little too high. Let's try to lower the key. But trying it out in every key, it gives it a different feel, an indescribable feel. And so I think trying stuff out like that, experimenting with the BPM, I think more than anything, I learned there are rules to this shit, but there's no rules. You have to throw them out the window so you can just make something feels good.
I feel like now that you're doing it on your own, I feel like you have more opportunity to kind of test the waters like that
Right.
without, you know, I feel like it's always hard when there's a partner involved to be on the same level of like, I want to try this, I want to try that, but like you kind of get this different fresh like take of like being an artist all over again.
And that's honestly, and Rob and I are close friends. I just got off the phone with him, coming on here. We're still, we talk all the time and hang all the time. Um, but that was one of the things in doing my solo project was I wanted to like, who am I as an artist? But not only that, like, what are the boundaries and the sounds and inspirations that will come out of me from just because it's just me. There's a safety net in knowing you have other people or whatever it is. And so I, I'm I'm like a hustler in the sense of I like building things. And so there's like an entrepreneurial spirit that was like, I want to start something from scratch and build and show people kind of who I am and what I know. So that's right where you find me in this moment.
And I feel like you're also, going all out with the music video as well. Like you're super excited about this music video as well. And watching the video, like I feel like there was so much going on in this set, but at the same time, I feel like it was just something that you did in your backyard, for example. Like,
Mhm.
so talk to me about the creative process of this video, and what are you most excited about for the viewers to watch?
So first of all, I want to say that I mentioned I'm a 90s hip hop fan. I loved when certain lyrics or things weren't spoon fed to me or explained. It's like the fourth listen through, it was like, I understand. And so I didn't want some like straight storyline where it's like, oh, love interest, guy gets girl, something that was so textbook like that. I wanted something that was, this is a little trippy, but visually you have the elements of water and you have all these. I want you to get your story from that because I have my story in that I know, but I don't even want to like say it in that sense. I think you've seen the video. It is so visually stimulating that I think people will attach their own meaning. And even talking, since it's been out, people are like, I know you wrote about this. And it's like, did I? And other people are like, I know you wrote about this. But that's the beauty of entertainment and art is like assigning our own meaning to it, where you hear something, you're like, they were singing about my specific relationship. They were singing about my specific, and that's what I love about music, and that's what I was chasing.
That's awesome. Well, I feel like you nailed it with the song and the video as well. So
Thank
congratulations
you.
with that, dude. And
I appreciate that.
once again, congratulations with your signing with Photo Finish. And
Right?
I
The best.
like I feel like yeah, I feel like there's gonna be endless opportunities. And now that Quinn XCII is in the mix, I always tease him about A-OK because I'm always like, yeah, your brother, because the two of them were always together. So like I feel like
And
that's
and
another
in sync.
opportunity. Yeah, exactly.
Quinn's new album that he did with A-OK is like, if you guys haven't heard Change of Scenery 2, go listen to it right now. It's incredible. But they're on it. Um, yeah, I love how hyped you are on Photo Finish because I'm equally as
Awesome, dude.
hyped.
Well, thank you again for taking the time, and I look forward to doing this again soon. And I can't wait to see what else comes out of you for your solo
Let's
stuff, dude.
go. Well, maybe in person next time because this is,
Definitely.
yeah, I know. But thank you so much for having me. This is great.